Okie dokes. So you're gonna get a I'm gonna need to borrow your sticks. Please. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna get a chunk of clay, okay? And you don't need to wedge it, but when you get it, you're basically gonna kind of slap it down a little bit to make it a little bit flat, okay? You don't have to go too far. You don't want your edges to get too thin, okay? Your sticks determine how thick it's going to be. So you either have number 3 sticks or number 4 sticks, or you have a combination of a few sticks to make it kind of thick, okay? So I'm going to start here like that. I'm going to put my sticks to the sides. Your template is how big you need the slab to be, right? So it would be silly to have your sticks this far apart, because you only need to make it this big, right? So you're going to put your sticks close together. I can even do it like this, as long as my sticks are wide enough to fit this template. Okay, so far so good? Now I can move that out of the way. I take my rolling pin, I stand when I roll out my slab, especially this particular clay. Some of the pieces are a little harder. And then I'm going to put my back into it. Okay, I don't want you guys sitting when you do this. And I start to roll it out. Okay, I'm really putting a lot of pressure there. And then I'm going to lift it and flip it. Okay, that just means the clay is a little dry. It's totally fine. Okay, if my sticks go far wide like that, are they doing anything? No. If I start rolling this, look what happens if my sticks aren't in use. It gets too thin, right? So you don't want to do that. So keep the sticks, make sure the rolling pin is on the sticks, okay? So then I roll it out, and when the clay no longer stretches, that means you can't roll it anymore. That means it's the same thickness as the sticks. Does that make sense? But you can flip it again just in case. This clay's a little dry. I'm a little concerned about that. If this happens, and so now I'm gonna do a couple things. If this happens to yours, you can do this. This is a serrated rib. This only happens if the clay is a little dry. I'm going to go like that, and like this. This kind of like blends it a little bit. And then the next step, if that doesn't happen, so you don't have to do this. When do we do this? Only if the edges are like dry, only if like it looks like it needs to be blended, okay? Then I'm going to take a rib. I like to use the metal rib, the one without the teeth, or the wooden rib, and I'm going to compress. Compressing is like pushing it down, making it smooth, and pushing the molecules down like closer together. You're like really kind of smushing it, okay? What I'm not doing is I'm not scraping, okay? You don't really see much clay there. And then I'm going to flip it and go in like the other direction. So I went in a couple directions. What I didn't do is I did not scrape it. I didn't do that, okay? So compressing is pushing down pretty hard, and then I'm going to cut it. So now I'm going to put my template in a spot that makes sense. Over here it doesn't make any sense. Here it does. I get this tool. What's this thing called? A knife? What kind of knife? Starts with an F, ends with an Edling. Fettling knife, and then I'm going to cut it out. Okay? What I'm going to do is this leftover stuff if the clay is, did I cut this one? No. Okay. If the leftover clay is still really nice and soft, you squish it all together. This is not very nice and soft, so I'm probably going to toss it. If you have enough clay left over to make a second one, you can, but this is not big enough to make a second one, so I would squish it together. And then you can come and get another piece, or you can wedge this and roll out another piece. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. Let me stop this recording real quick.